development. By the end of this course, your code will be professional, and professional code is what will get you your next job. You'll be able to build an organized application both with or without an organizational JavaScript library or framework. You'll also be able to look at those libraries and figure out how to use them, and you'll understand why using libraries can be a good idea. So, what's the progression of this course? First, we'll build an application together the way we already know how. Then we'll look at some of the problems with what we know and learn some techniques to solve those problems. Next, we'll move on to learning frameworks, and finally we'll learn to pick up some code we've never seen before and how to tackle that otherwise scary process. The final project will be a neighborhood map. It'll be completely self-led and good enough to put in your portfolio for job interviews. Now, I want you to take your time with this course and projects. Don't rush. Together, we'll be fundamentally changing the way you think about application development, so give yourself the space and time to learn it properly. And take some time also to embark on projects of your own outside of the class. Find some time to play. Now, this course will be challenging at points, so if you're having a rough time at any point, it's not you. This is by design. You might feel scared like I did when I first learned this. And it's normal to feel that way when you learn anything new. But you will get there. And your successes will be thrilling. Ask them.
Right, just the introduction. And here we're going to start talking about a new project.
Back in mid-2010, a video game researcher by the name of Ian Bogos released a simple Facebook game, actually a satire of social games. In the game, you click on a picture of a cow every 6 hours, and he named it Cow Clicker. Surprisingly enough, the game took off and got legitimately popular. Now, when I was thinking about a project for this course, yes, this one that you're taking right now, I had a realization. Cow Clicker became viral, and cat pictures account for at least a quarter of the internet. In fact, it's widely known that everybody likes cat pictures. So why not combine them, I thought. And so, your first application will be Cat Clicker. Now, your Cat Clicker application should have a picture of a cat and a number that increments when you click the cat. Pretty simple, at least for the first version. You'll get an official spec sheet for the project in a moment. Now, the next several exercises will be based around this Cat Clicker project. Although you could technically get by without actually doing the project, I strongly urge you to do it. Later in the lesson, you'll learn a scalable approach to building apps. And by building it your default way here and now, you'll get to compare this version of Cat Clicker to the final version once you're done with the course. That final version will be, in a word, awesome. But it's always important to be able to see how far you've come. And besides, for the first iteration of this project, you won't be alone. I'm going to give Andy a call.
He's a co-worker of mine, and he will be doing this project with you. Hello? Okay, you got yourself programming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I started working at Udacity years ago, and actually started courses going in program. Makes sense. Would you be willing to build a version of Cat Clicker along with the student? Yeah, I can probably build Cat Clicker. I'm not how pretty it'll be. No, don't worry about it. That's the whole point. By the end, you'll have a great tool set for working on these apps. Now, Andy will be doing this project with you. You may not feel 100% comfortable in JavaScript right now, and some of this may not still be super easy, but you can do it. Do give this a shot, and build it the best way you know how. And after you're done, we'll talk about the next steps. At the end of this self-driven exercise, I'll show you my code, and we can talk about some of the differences.
Right, so so the first task for this course is ask you to build a simple application. It's going to have a cat image, and whenever you click the cat, there's going to be a counter. Like it's saying that click it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. It's increasing the number every time when you click the image. So let's here is a requirement. You're gonna have the application should display a picture of the cat and the number of clicks. And the specifics of the layout do not matter. So the style is just you can just style it as much as you want, and the number of clicks should increment when the cat picture is clicked. Right. So that's it. It also provides you some hint here, saying that if you're just using the vanilla JavaScript, you can just using the add event listener to add the event listener to the picture. And if you're using jQuery, you can use the jQuery syntax to do the similar stuff, adding a click event, which is a different syntax. All right, let's do this project. So if you haven't done this, you can just firstly see how I do it, and then when you have time, you can just practice by yourself. Let's firstly create a folder for it. We're gonna create a folder and call it can clicker. Right, can clicker. And open this folder with the code with code. All right, let me firstly increase the font size. Font size. All right. The first file we're gonna have is an index.html. It's gonna be the main HTML page. Allow us to be able to to write the layout of the page. So we're gonna have an index.html. Right. Generates empty boilerplate. And that's going to be our HTML page. And inside here, we're going to have whatever content we're going to have. Firstly, as I said, we're going to have an image of a cat. Let's just download this image here. Let's save this image into the cat clicker folder. Let's call it cat. Okay. So I have the image downloaded here. I'm going. Sorry. I need to display this image on my website, on my page. So let's firstly I want to let's just put the image here. Image tag source is equal to cat.jpg, and alternative when the image cannot be displayed, we're gonna say let's say image for cat. Let's say cat, right? So let's open this image, this file into our HTML page. Right, so this is how it looks like. It has just have a cat here. Right. So we need a cat. We also need a counter. So let's have after the image, let's have a h3 here. Says it's counting the clicks, so it's gonna be how I want to display it. It's just clicks. Just clicks. Alright, say showing like a 0 or just clicks. Alright, so I'm going to show you the clicks here, like it's 0, 1, 2, 3. It's a dynamic number, so I didn't put this here. It's going to load it directly from the JavaScript file. Alright, so let's have them open here. Alright, I have my index.html ready, and let's not worry about the CSS code. I don't really care about for this project right now. I don't really care about the style of it right now. So let's just directly go to the JavaScript code. It's going to have a main.js, or you can call it just app.js, just a file name doesn't really matter. At the end of the index.html, we're going to have the script tag to link this index.html with a JavaScript code. The source is equals to main.js. Link them together. Right. So after you link the two files together, first thing you may want to do is make sure the main.js is successfully connected with the index.html. So we're going to have a console log here. Hello from main.js. Make sure they are connected together. So if I hit F12 here, open the developer tool. And when I reload the page, I should be able to see the console log out here. Right? I see the console is logged the hello from the main.js. So I know these two files are connected together. Alright, so I can just do that. Right now, what I need to do here is to and even listen to the image. Like whenever I click that image, I should be able to do something to the picture, to like run a function. The function can do anything I want, but I first I need to listen when I click it, right? So let's give an ID to this image. So I can select this image in my JavaScript file. The ID of this image is going to be cat. Let's just call it cat. And in my JavaScript file, I can say firstly I want to get the cat. Let's say document the query selector or get element by ID, looking for the ID cat, and then I want to add event listener to it. And the event listener type is a click. When I click it, please run a function. Let's call the function like on click. Just call any name you like it. Right, this function, or we can just using the ES6 syntax. Remember, like when I say function on click, it takes parameter and do something, and I can just using the ES6 syntax. This is a newer version of JavaScript. You can say on click. Instead of saying the function, you can just say on click, and it's just let's create a constant, or you can say create a variable on click is equals to a function, and when it takes a parameter and run the code following here, right? This is just the ES6 syntax. You should learn that from ES6 course, and we're gonna use that a lot in the future. So it's a time we're getting familiar with it. It's just another way to write a function. Let's first try to console log something. Console log click. So I know this function is click. Let's try it. So on click is not defined. On click is not defined. I could define it here. Maybe I cannot write it in this way. What the? It's not defined. What? Function on click. Let's try just using a normal function. That should work. Right? It works in this way, but when I change it to the ES6, maybe I have to put that before the event listener, or just inside here. It's okay. Just using the normal syntax way. So when I click, so right now when I click this picture, it's just showing me the console log the click here. Every time I click once, it's just showing it once. All right. So we just continue working. We have the click works. Like every time I click, it's just doing something for me. And what I really want to do here is I want to have the counter, like help me to count like how many times I clicked, right? So let's create a variable here. Let counter equal to 0. So the counter starts from 0, and in the onClick, I should be able to increment it. All right. So in index.html, I want to show this counter in my index.html. So in my h3 here, let's have a span here, and its content is just equals to the whatever the this variable is, this counter is. So let's have an ID for this span. Let's call it counter. All right. So let's put our put this counter showing there. So we're gonna have a how should I do that? It's okay. Just put that in the function. Actually, let's put that here. So let's say document the query selector. Query selector. Query selector. Select the one with the ID equal to counter, and its text content is equal to the counter I have it here. Right? So it's showing 0 right now. It's showing 0 right now. Clicks equal to 0. I haven't clicked it once. And right now, every time when I click it, I want to do something to it. So I need to do here is let's separate this into two lines. I want to give a name to it. Let actually I can have a constant. Counter is equal to document selector, this item, and this item counter the text content is equal to the counter I gave it, this variable I gave it, and it's not, I cannot call bottom counter, it's going to be duplicate. Let's just call it a counter element, counter element. This counter element text content is equal to this counter I put it here, right? So it should work in the same way. When I click it, just not doing anything right now. And in the function, right? So because I clicked it, so every time when I click it, I want say counter plus plus, adding 1 to the counter, and I want to console log my current counter, make sure it works. One, 2, 3, 4. I can say the number is increasing every time I click it. See, it's 8, 9, 10. Right. So the number is actually increasing. So next thing I want you to do is just display the number in here instead of just showing 1. Right. So what I can do here, I can just say instead of saying console, I just want to use this to replace the old text content. So I will say the counter element the text content is equal to the new counter. After I change the counter, it's equal to the new counter. Right, so let's try it. So when I click it, showing 1, 2, 3. See the click is increasing. So every time I click it, it's just increasing the number. See this number is increasing. Right, so this is basically the first task is all about. Just ask you to create an image. Every time when you click it, it's just going to increment this number. Here, just count how many times you clicked it. Right? If you want, you can also add in some style to your page. Let's have a style CSS, and in the style CSS, we can have a class called pointer. What I want to do is here I want to change the what is that called? But I actually forget. CSS pointer, not pointer event, just pointer. Oh, cursor. Yeah, I want to change the cursor into a pointer. Cursor pointer, and we're going to add in this class to the image. Class pointer to the image. So by changing the cursor into pointer, what it's gonna do is whenever you mouse over this image, it's not doing anything. What? Class pointer. I did maybe I didn't save this file. I did save it. What? Oh, I haven't linked them together. Yeah, what I'm thinking. So let's link the style file and the index together. So we have the link. reference is style.css. Link them together. So whenever I mouse over this image, you see your cursor, your mouse is changing like a hand here, meaning like this is clickable. Every time we click, it's just still doing the same thing, but I just adding some style to it. All right. So that's it for the first project. Let me add this project to my GitHub so I don't lose it, and also showing like my skills a little bit, and in the future, as a course description said, we're going to improve this project, adding more functions to it. So I actually want to add that to my GitHub to display my skills of that. So let's create a new project for the cat clicker. Let me call it cat clicker. Right, let's just call it cat clicker. Yeah, let's create this repository. And we are going to adding our code into the GitHub. So terminal, new terminal. I'm doing this over again. Right, let's bring it up a little bit. So it's going to be git init, git add dot, git commit -m with a message. First version of cat clicker, right? And we're going to push that to the GitHub. So let's copy these 2 lines, paste them into the terminal here. Alright, so I have my first version of cat clicker already. Where is my code? Oh, it's coming here. Right, so I have my first version of my cat clicker, and it's just working as a description as a requirement asked. Like whenever I click the cat, it's just changing the number of here, right? So all I have is just an event listener, and I added an event listener to this image, and every time I click it, it's run the function. The function basically just increments the clicks. Let's go back to this project again. All right, I just finished that. It's time to go to the next one. Go to next. Let's take a look at that.
Now that you've built the cat clicker, I want you to reflect on a few things. Let me know in the boxes below how hard was this for you, and how do you feel about your code? And how many times did you quit the cat? There are no right or wrong answers to this quiz. Mainly, I just would like you to reflect on your experience so far. After you share your reflections, we'll talk to Andy and see how he's doing.
All right, so still be a quiz. How hard was it? It's actually very easy for me. And how do you feel about your code? Just rough code. And how many times you click your cat? I think I clicked more than 60 times. Let's just put 70 times here, and submit my answer. That's it. There's no correct answer, so just I don't know what's the purpose for that, but just go to the next one.
Hey Andy, how'd it go?
It wasn't too bad. I got the clicker working.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what parts were more difficult for you?
It wasn't bad at all. I mean, I'm just rusty with JavaScript. I hadn't used it in a while. I'm used to Python syntax.
Oh, okay.
Used to be able to declare variables, semicolons, and I'm still just not very fluent with manipulating the DOM through JavaScript. So there's a lot of tools I just figure out how to do some basic stuff.
Cool, but you got it working all
I
right?
got it working. Yep, my div with the cat ID increments its count in Python.
Awesome, good job.
All right, let's continue.
So, congratulations, you just wrote a program. Awesome. But it would never end there in reality. When writing software, it's very common for requirements to change. In fact, it's usually the case. Requirements can change because you got an idea while you were writing the application. They can change because you have a fickle manager. They can also change because the needs of your target audience have changed since you started work on the project originally. Now, this course is ultimately about teaching you to write extensible and well-organized code, largely so you can react to those changes in the project requirements. Let's talk to a few other experts in software development and see how often requirements change for them.
requirements change for every single project. In fact, almost every single meeting for a project leads to a requirements change.
Requirements can change at any time. They can change weeks before the project, or they can change the night before it launches.
Oh, we change requirements on the engineers all the time. Well, at Udacity, engineers are actually responsible for defining their own requirements. But regardless of whoever is defining the requirements, they keep changing all the time because the product keeps evolving. And the requirements change because we keep on discovering new ways of improving the user experience. And that leads to often changing specs and requirements for the product.
Right, it's talking about just requirement of the project is changing very often.
Now things are changing for your project and for Andy's too. Got Andy on speed dial, number 4. Hey Andy, can you come down to my desk for a second? Great, thanks. Now, the project manager has changed the requirements in 2 different ways. First of all, there's not 1 cat anymore. Now there are 2 cats. Second of all, the cat name should be above the cat image. So, how you implement that is completely up to you, but I would recommend avoiding the most naive of solutions. Don't just hard code the cat name in the DOM or in the document. Instead, store that in a JavaScript variable and then update the document. And hey, what's up? So the project requirements have changed. Okay? Cat clicker duel.
Oh, yes.
2 cats. 2 cats. Can you do it?
I didn't plan for that, but I think I can probably figure it out.
Awesome.
So the requirement changes, and it changes to like application should display 2 cats, and each cat should include the cat name, the picture of cat, and text showing the number of clicks. Right, so let's just change our code right now. We're gonna, instead of 1, I'm gonna show 2 cats right now. Right, let's just time to change it. So right now I have 1 cat, and it's time to change it to 2 cats. Let's firstly copy the second cat's image, save the image into our project. Now let's give it 2 names of it. This one I'm going to call it, I don't know, Bobby. Let's just lowercase it. I don't want to sometimes forget to capitalize it and make the function not working. So the first one, I'm just going to change the name of the first cat. Let's call it Andy, right? So I have 2 cats here, and instead, first one, change the name here. It's going to be Andy the JPEG. Let's copy the image and H3 here and make the second one. Right, so I have 2 cats ready here. This is the first one, the first cat. Its first cat is called Andy, and I have a second cat. This one is a Bobby. So this is Andy JPEG. This one is Bobby JPEG, and this is Andy, and this one is Bobby. Right. So remember, like we're not gonna have the same ID right now. It's gonna be changing. The ID should be unique in one file, so we're gonna change the ID of it into something else. So for the first image, the ID should be Andy image. Right. The second one is called Bobby image. 2 names for them. Let's say H3 here still have the clicks span. This one have the ID equals to Andy counter. This one is Bobby counter. Well, basically just copy the 2 things and give it different IDs. That's it. First cat, second cat. Let's take a look of it. I have my 2 cats here, and JavaScript is not gonna work anymore because I changed the ID here, so it's even listener cannot catch my clicks. Right, so let's using just the most of straightforward way to just adding two event listener to the two different images. And when I click the first image, it's showing change the clicks for the Andy counter. And when I click the second image, it's changing the number of the Bobby counter. Right? So let's go to JavaScript file here. So let's have some comments here. And event listener for Andy and Bobby image. Right, so it's going to do two things here. First thing is choosing the Andy image, and Andy event listener. Unclick Andy. Let's have another one. Let's copy that. This one is choosing the Bobby image. Oops, what is that? Let's go log out. Bobby image and add event listener click. When I click that one, it's gonna unclick Bobby. So two different functions. One is click Andy, another one is click Bobby. So that's add two event listener. One is for the Andy, another one is for the Bobby. All right, so corresponding. So we're gonna have instead of one counter, we're gonna have two counter. We have one counter for the Andy, another counter for the Bobby. So we're gonna have create, or say declare variables for Andy and Bobby. So we're gonna have a counter Andy, which is 0, and I have another counter. It's counter Bobby. Start from 0. Oh, two counters. Also, again, we're gonna have we need to select both of their the elements. Select element for Andy and Bobby. From select the counter element. So let's see what ID has given it here. Yeah, this one is Andy counter, another one is Bobby counter. So we're gonna first one. This one is counter element Andy. This is like the counter Andy, right? It's called counter Andy, right? Andy counter, not counter Andy. So it's ID going to be Andy counter. And another one, constant counter element Bobby is equal to same thing. This one document, I have a typo here. And this one is a Bobby counter. Right? We selected two elements here. And we're gonna set up the counter number into these two numbers here. So the counter element, say counter Andy element. This text element is gonna equals to the counter Andy, and the counter Bobby dot text content is going to equals to the counter Bobby, right? So the two numbers should be ready right now. So you should be, whenever the page, you should be able to see these are two zeros after the clicks. But it's not. I have an error here. What's the error saying? Unclick Andy is not defined. Let's see. Maybe I have a typo somewhere. Oh, I didn't. Because I have unclick Andy, I can go Bobby here, but I don't really have those two functions. Let's create those two functions first. It's blocking my code. So let's change that one to unclick Andy. On line 12. What mistake? Well, what do you think we have mistake here?
12 it says counter element Andy, and 13 says counter Bobby.
Yeah, we're adding text content for both of them.
You don't gotta write element in the back of 13, so counter element Bobby.
No, the counter element Bobby is element from the DOM. Is this span here? Is this span here? Is this span with the ID equal to Andy counter, Bobby counter? This ID here. In here, I'm saying I want to set up this element's text content is equals to count Andy is equal to this 0 here. And this one counter Bobby's text content content body is this span here, this span here, and say its text content is equals to content body. Content body is 0 right now. Right, I'm setting up its content. I'm setting up the any content of this part. Set it here as 0. Right, so the text content is just the content you put inside your tag as its content. We're setting up the content into 0. Right, so this here is have 2 functions. We can just leave the 2 functions empty right now, but I need to have them to make sure there's no bugs. Right, otherwise it's gonna block my code. Right, so the end is working. I can see a 0 here, but I cannot see the body here. Might be some issue here. Let's see. So counter body. What body counter or body counter. It should be counter element body. Change counter element body's text content is equal to the counter body, right? Change this one's content into the counter body.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's line 13, not 12. Text content of null. This one is null. Let's try to get in the body counter. I have the typo here, I think. Let's see. Its ID is called missing a B here. Body counter. Right. So let's reload the page. I have 2 zeros here. This one is 0. This one is another 0. Right. So right now both of them are displaying the 2 numbers here. And what I need to do is just whenever I click the image, it's just increment this number here. So let's go back to the function here. When I click the Andy, the Andy counter will be ending 1, and then change the Andy text content into the count Andy. And same thing for the Bobby. When I click the Bobby image, the content for the Bobby should increment, right? Increment by 1. And the Bobby's content text content should equals to the content Bobby. Right. So I have 2 functions ready. Let's take a look at it. Right. So when I click this one, the number changes. This one is still 0. And when I click that, this one changes still. Doesn't change that one. Yeah. So it actually works right now. I have 2 images. It's just, and whenever I click it, it's just changing the numbers. Right. We can adding some style to it right now. It actually works. I don't see any issues of that right now. Let's add Bootstrap. I want to bring Bootstraps. Firstly, let's commit my changes. Every time when I change something, I will just commit it. Git add dot git commit. Change cat clicker into 2 cats. Alright, I just committed my changes. I don't need to push it right now. I just want to make all my changes together, then push it together. So I'm gonna including the Bootstrap. Put that into my head tag before my own CSS. And I have my Bootstrap here. And it should change the font size, change the font into a little bit. Let's take a look. The font changes a little bit. And I actually want to bring the 2 cats beside each other, one on the left, another one on the right. So let's. Firstly, I want to have a div here outside of both cats, and it's gonna have class equals to row. Let's firstly adding a container fluid, adding some space from the container fluid, and some space on the left and the right, moving in a little bit. And right now, let's add another div for the row. And a div class equal to row, and I have two columns. One column for the Andy, another column for the Bobby. And I have a div with a class is equal to column 6, right? A div with column 6, and we're gonna move the Andy inside it. And have another div with column 6, and we'll have a Bobby inside it. Right. I have my two cats, one on the left and one on the right. Right, the two images don't have the same size, but it's fine. I don't really mind the offset. It's just one showing one on the left and showing one on the right. Alright, just adding another commit, git add dot git commit, change style, including bootstrap, ending two columns, and git push that to GitHub. Right, those are all of my two changes. So right now both of them works, and I'm just clicking it a lot right now. So let's go back to the lesson. So time for the next one. Actually, let me think about it. All right, let's just keep it okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's next. And let me click here.
Nice work. Now you should be done with Cat Clicker Dual with 2 cats in your program. Now let's take another minute to reflect on your experience. How hard was it this time? How do you feel about your code? And are you happy with your method for cat duplication? And how many times have you clicked the cat by now? Then we'll check in with Andy.
Alright, how hard it is? It's still very easy. Maybe it's true. It's still very easy. It doesn't really matter. Just submit the answer. Alright, let's check next video.
Hey Andy, how'd it go?
It went okay. I have two cats and it's working, but the whole process is a little frustrating.
So frustrating in what way?
So, you're not gonna like this, but I basically just copied and pasted all my code from, first cat, second cat, had a cat 1 and a cat 2, or cat 1 and cat 2, and all that sort of thing.
It seems like a quick and easy method, right?
It was quick, it wasn't easy.
Why not?
So I forgot to change one of the 1s to a 2, and so when I clicked on one of the cats, it kept incrementing both the cats, and that wasn't the best way to do it.
I see. Now, here's another question. If, hypothetically, I were to ask you to scale this from 2 cats to, say, 5 cats, what would you say? Like, is it scalable?
Part of me wants to say no. I don't want to do it, but this method probably wouldn't, and obviously this method would not be the best way to do it. I'm sure it could work. I would probably want to find a better way to do it.
Probably a wise approach, yeah. Now, if I were hypothetically to ask you and Andy to do this and scale up to 5 cats, there is one thing that you probably should be aware of, and that has to do with closures. When you're adding eventlessness elements, several elements, in a closure inside of a loop, there's an easy trap you can fall into. Now, the next node is going to be a reading node. It's going to tell you information about when you might fall into that trap and how to get out of it.
Right, so he basically using the same way as we did, just copy the code and create another cat image and with another event listener, and when I click a different cat, it just increments the different counter. But as I said, it's not scalable. Think about it, like if we have the 5 cats, let's just copy the cats 5 times. It's just kind of like waste time, and it's easy to make a mistake. Like maybe you forget to change one ID, and when you click one an image, 2 counter is increase. And maybe when the manager change requirement again, ask you to create 100 accounts, they're gonna copy your code 100 times. This is kind of like a little bit waste of time. Let's say that's what they are talking about here right now. It's saying I have a problem. Let's say we are making an element for every item in an array, which when each is clicked, it should alert its number. The simple approach would be to use a for loop. And when the click happens, alerts the value of num as we iterate over each item of the array. Here's an example. So I actually don't really have time to go over this one with you. You can take a look of that. It's just talking about how to make it work, to iterate over a array, and whenever it clicks item, it's just basically going to do something for each one of them. All right. Let's go to the next one. You can you can finish that when you have time.
As I hinted at in the last lesson, your boss really likes cats. They want even more cats. In fact, they want cat clicker premium. Now, obviously, you'll run out of screen space if you add too many more, so your boss wants you to build a list of cats on the side. And when you choose a cat from that list, cat is displayed in the cat area. That'll need quite a few changes to your application. You'll need to find a way to build a list of cats. You'll need to add selection functionality to the list. You'll need to display the correct cat when the list items are clicked. And of course, you'll need to keep each cat's number separate and accurate. I'll provide you with an official spec sheet for the new application in a second. And my advice to you is the same. Try not to repeat yourself. And make sure that you choose some cute pictures of cats so they can comfort and console you if you feel frustrated. After this step, we'll go over the code together and we'll start talking about some useful organizational techniques for resolving some of the problems you're likely running into.
Alright, so requirement changes again. Instead of 2 cans, we're going to have a list of 5 cans. And we're going to have an area to display the selected cat. And also in the display area, we're going to show the cat name, the picture of the cat, and the following of the number of clicks. Also, we're going to have a list showing the cat names. Whenever a cat is clicked, we're going to change the cat image and the name and its click number in the display area. So it's like fully change the requirement. Let's working on that. Right. So right now I have 2 cats. They are displaying side by side, and right now we're gonna fully change it. We're only we're gonna have a list in my page, and there's no cat if I didn't click anything. And whenever I click a image, a name in the list, it's going to show the cat image to me. So it's basically changing the whole requirement, right? So it may need to change everything.
Can you start that one first?
What?
Start this one first.
Yeah, we're gonna start that one in a new project because it's basically it's not gonna be just a display image, and it should be an image on your page. It's just have a list, and when you click it, it's gonna dynamically adding that image to the DOM. So let's actually restart this thing. We're gonna that's it for my cat clicker. I'm just gonna close it, and I'm gonna create a new project for that because it's basically something new. I'm gonna have cat clicker premium. So it's gonna be a new one. Cat clicker premium. The cat clicker is done. Just leave that there. And let's open this one and open with code. I'm gonna start a new one. Alright, so let's create a new file here. oops, no, let's create it from here. Let's call it index.html. It's going to be on my layout. And again, let's generate the boilerplate. It's take some time to load in. Right. So I will be able to using those shortcuts. And let's bring the bootstrap. I still want to use the bootstrap here. Let's copy my bootstrap CDN. And we'll have our own style.css. It's ending style.css here. Right. And also let's also adding a JavaScript main.js. I link them together. In end of my body, I'm gonna have a script. Source is equal to main.js. Okay, and we can start writing something. Firstly, let's say in their requirement, they just provide me one image. Actually, need 5 of them. Right? Actually, have them in here. Just you can go any place looking for 5 can images. We're gonna have the first one is this one here. Right? Let's save this image. Go to our can cake premium. It's gonna be my first can. It's gonna call it Andy. And I'll have a second image. It's just the second image we were using. This one. Save the image. Let's call it Bob. Have my second sort image. Let's copy that. Just Charlie. Fourth one. Right, this one. Save image. David. And fifth one. Still this one. No, I want to change another one. Can I just grab it from somewhere? Let's just search for the cat image. Just this one. This first one coming up. Save image. Let's go to Effie. So I have 5 cats. I have 5 cats here. That's true. All right. So what are we going to do here? We're going to have a list. And have the 5 cats name here. And we're going to display them one by one. When I click the button, it's going to display the different cats. Let's first generate a list. A list will not be dynamic. It's not going to be changed. So let's have a list here. I'm going to have an unordered list. And with a list item here with the different names. The first one is Andy. The second one is going to be Bob. Third one, Charlie. And David. And Effie. 5 cats here. Let's close this other one. I'm gonna close this one. Close that one. Let's let's open that index.html. Alright. So I have my cat's name here list on left corner, and let's adding some style to it. We're gonna using the bootstrap, adding some style to it. It's gonna be this group. and different class here, which is going to be list group item. I'm gonna copy that for all the items I have here. Right, so I have my 5 items here. I have my list here. Let's add in some container to it to make it smaller. So again, I'm going to have a container here. Make it outside of everything. Container. Just using container fluid. Container is too small. And again, we're going to using a row here. I want to have the list on the left and the can displayed on the right. So we have a div with a class equal to row. And I have 2 column here, in column 6. And that's for my list. Let's copy the whole thing. Cut it to the left one, and on the right, I'm gonna have another div for the column 6. And this is going to be the place I display my cant. Let's see what I have right now. I have my list on the left. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's go to my style series, see body, pending top, 70 pixel. Let's bring it down a little bit. Right, it's here right now. And first Caddy is here. Ready? Yeah. I also want to make it look like the clickable, so it's adding a pointer class. Change the cursor into pointer. And adding that class to all the items I have here. So it's going to be pointer class. Right, so then when I mouse over it, it's going to show like it looks like a clickable. Right? Alright. This looks too big. I don't want it to be that big. Let's make it a column 3 and a column 9. I don't need this to be that big. Right, smallest and a big place to display the cat. Right, so I have my list already, and when I click on name here, it should display the cat. That's gonna be the first thing we're gonna do. Right now we're gonna just not gonna worry about other things. We just need to worry about like when I click a cat name, it's just display the images on the right. That's gonna first thing we're gonna worry about. So how do I let it know like when I click a name in the list and it's showing something on the right? So I need a JavaScript here. So I have 5 cats here. How about I just bind them to different event listener, and then when I click this one, it's doing something, and I click this second one, doing something, click third one, doing something else. And when I click like it's just different items inside here, it's just doing something else for me, doing something differently. When I click Andy, it's gonna show Andy's image. When I click Bob, it shows Bob's image. When I click Charlie, it shows Charlie's image. Right? Let's just do it in this way. So again, we're gonna add event listener. Let's adding some ID for them. So this one has ID equal to Andy. This one has ID equals to Bob. This one has ID equals to Charlie. And this one has ID equal to David. And the fifth one has ID equals to Effie. Right, I have 5 ID for them. That's any event listener for all of them. So we're gonna have a document the current selector. We're gonna select the Andy. Andy. And then when I click you, no, not the and even listener, right? And even listener. When I click you, yeah, what I want to do here, I would run a function called show Andy. And just copy that. I'm gonna do it 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is Bob. I'm gonna call the function show Bob. And when I click the Charlie, it's gonna run a function show Charlie. When I click the David, it's run a function show David. Click the Effie, it's run a function show Effie. All right. So we're gonna create those functions one by one. So we have show Andy function, show Andy. What it does, it's going to show the Andy's name, show Andy's the image, and also show Andy's the clicks number on the right display area. So let's have an ID for this column 9. Let's have ID is equal to a display. Let's give a name to the display area. So I can use constant display is equal to document the current selector selected with ID equal to display. I'll just select the display area. Right. When I click the show, when I click the any image, what I want to do here, I want to create generate Andy's image. Right. I'm gonna say document the create element. And I want to create the h1 here. I'll create h1 here. And let's give it a name. Let's create a name. Let's call the variable name is equal to that. That's not a variable. It's just let. It's constant name is equal to that. And let's say name the text content is equal to Andy. And we have another constant image. Well, actually, I can create this with one outside, then so I don't have created this a lot of times. Let's create put them outside. Cat, I have a cat. I just create those elements outside. So all 5 cats can use the same element. No, I don't need to do it. I don't even need to do that. Let me think about it. So I can actually directly have those things really waiting for here. Like I can in the display area, I can have my h1 here, and then I have an image here. And also have my number of clicks here. Let's see how it looks like. And maybe not a good choice. Yeah, I don't really want to display this clicks. Okay, this clicks here. I don't want to display this here. Let's ending them dynamically. Let's ending them dynamically. Right? Let's ending them dynamically. Yeah, it's not a good choice. Just adding them dynamically. So we will have my display area selected. And again, we're going to have our h1 here. We're going to have our image tag. We're going to have our counter. All right. So I'm just still keep this empty, right? Still keep the HTML empty. It's just here is it has nothing inside this column 9 here. So right now when I click the can't, when I click the Andy, it's going to change the name of name's text content into Andy, and also it's going to change the image, the attributes. How do I change the attributes of item? I actually forget. So chat JavaScript change attributes. Set attributes. Or we have a function called set attributes. Right, it's easy. Let's do it. So it's gonna image the set attribute. We're gonna set the source of the image into nd.jpg. And we're gonna have a counter the inner HTML is equals to using the JavaScript syntax here. Well, this is just gonna have a div here right now. Let's just have a h3 here. Inside it, and we're gonna showing. I already have h3 here. I already have h3. I can just say inside here. It's just still using the text content. And just put a 0 there. I just put a 0 there. So I have show Andy ready. Let's copy that and copy it 4 more times. So I have show Andy, show Bob. For the show Bob, the name should be Bob, and it should be using the bob.jpg. I have a show Charlie. The content should be the Charlie's name, and it has a Charlie.jpg. I have the David. Name is equal to David, and the image source is equal to David.jpg, and I have the name equal to Effie. Oh, if I forget this, change show David, show Effie, name Effie.jpeg. The file is a different format for the FS image. Right, so I have those elements are ready, and I just need to adding them to my display area. Right, I have my display here. I'm gonna append them to my display. So it's gonna be, well, let's have a div ready here. Let's have an empty div here. So we're gonna have our constant div is equal to document.create element. Then create an empty div here, and we're gonna append them into the div, and then append that div into the display area. So we're gonna have a div.append, append the name, div.append the image, and div.append counter. And then finally we're gonna append that div on the display. Right, so we're gonna copy that a lot of times inside the div, inside all the functions. Is this gonna work? I'm not sure. Let's try it. So F12. I want to always show my. All right. So I have an error here. Show Bob is not defined. Let's see. Let's reload the page. Yeah, show FA is not defined. Let's see. This show number 6. Show FA. Show FA is right here. Oh, I have typo here. Should be lowercase s. Try it again. No error. When I click Andy, it shows Andy here. Yeah, it works. Let's click Bob. It shows Bob. It actually works. Like when I click the name on the left, it actually shows in the image on the right. Well, that's what I expect. That's nice. But the first step is working. It's not just going to be 0. Let's change that. It's instead of just 0, let's change it. Let's make it like a clicks 0, showing like that. Let's copy that. Replace the content here. Clicks 0. Right. When I click on it, it clicks 0. Right. That's nice. So I have my basic setup ready. Let's commit my changes. I don't want to lose my changes. Let's open the terminal here. Every time when you make some changes, you always want to commit it. Git init, as it's not a Git file yet. Git init. Git add dot git commit. List is ready. And display area ready. There, I'll commit those changes. I don't want to lose them. So that's nice. The images are really loading. Right now, let's so right now, like when Andy is loading, I need to add an event listener for this image, right? Like when I click Andy, it should increment this number here, right? Like when I click this one, Andy's image should increment. And when I click Bob, Bob's increment should increase. When I click Charlie, the Charlie should increment increase. All right, so let's end that. That's a lot of work. So it's nothing to do with HTML right now. Everything is about the functions I have here. So I have the image, and I need to add an event listener to the image. And whenever I click that image, it should increment the counter. All right, so let's do it. Let's create elements. Let's add some for display area. Just trying to add in some comments for those things I just did. This is show Andy, info and image. This is show Bob. Just forget that. It's too much comments. It's too lazy. All right. So it's different functions. And next stuff is like I'm going to add in an event listener for this image. And when I click click the image, it's going to do something for me. So I already have the image element created, and let's add an event listener to the image. So and event listener to the image. So it's going to be image the event listener, add event listener. When I click it, please do something for me. What I want to do here, I want to call function increase counter. Let's call it increment. That's easier. Increment. And let's create a function here. Function increment. Did I have typo here? It's without a or with a, whatever. Just keep them the same name. It's console log. Let's try it first. See if that works. 1, 2, 3. Let's test it. Should be curly brace. Let's try it. So reload the page. Have the console ready here, and when I click this one, it's showing 1, 2, 3, right? And when I open another one, it's still showing 1, 2, 3 because I added the event listener to the images. So whatever the image is, it's just going to showing it. I have the same event listener. All right. I have an event listener for the image, and let's create let's create a counter. Declare counter variable, so it will be let counter is equal to 0. Right. So every time I click it, what I want to do is I want to increment this counter. Counter plus plus. And I want to change the. I already have a counter here, right? I already have a counter. Let's change another name. Let's call it. It's not using counter here. It's using click number of clicks increase. And I want to put that in my counter text content. So it's counter the text content is equals to. It's equals to the. It's not using text content. It's using HTML. Equals to. What I want here, I want to say I have a clicks. It's using the ES6 syntax, right? If I'm using the normal syntax, it will be clicks and then span and plus click num and plus close of span. This is in HTML for that. Let's first make sure it works. Let's see if that works. Let's try it. So the page, when I click Andy, image showing, when I click this one, click num is not defined. What? Oh, I have typo here. It should be click num. Try it again. Andy, it's changing. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's changing. Oh, I'm missing the column here. Let's reload the page. Andy, it's changing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when I change go to Bob. Let's see the number is not reset. It's still increment like based on the previous number. It's 18 right now, and when I go to F8 and click it, it's just changing to 21. That's not good. Well, so that means I may need to have a different counter for different animals here. I cannot using one counter for all of them. Otherwise, it's going to be using the same number. So we're going to have a lot of them right now. How should I do that? Alright, so Andy should have its own counter, the Bob should have its own counter, and Charlie should have its own counter, and David should have its own counter. So that means I cannot just have one event listener for all the counters, for all these numbers here, because it's going to change. It depends on the different count showing there. So we're going to have different variables here. We have a let's rewrite this function. Right. So when I'm gonna have declare the count of variables. Gonna have variables for different cats. We're gonna have the Andy click is equal to 0, and we have a Bob click equal to 0. We have a Charlie click equal to 0. I have a David click equal to 0, and we have a Effie click. So it's kind of like annoying. We have 5 clicks right now, and so I have an increment function here. The function itself doesn't really know like which one I'm click because it's just binding to the image. So we have to check it by ourselves. We're gonna check if I'm clicking the Andy, and then we just increase Andy. If I'm clicking the Bob, I'm just increase the Bob. If I click the Charlie, increase the Charlie. All right. So how do I check it? Well, say that whenever I click a different name here, the name showing here is different. I can change my click. It depends on the different names I have here. So let's first we're gonna have a switch case here. We're gonna switch depends on the different name showing here doing a different thing, and the switch depends on the name.text content. It's like a if else. If the name.text content is equals to Andy, what we're going to do here is syntax should be case Andy and column after it, and we're going to do we're going to increment the Andy's click. Andy click plus plus, right? We're going to adding 1 to the Andy's click. We're clicking Andy, and what we need to change the click showing there into the Andy's click, so it will be counted in HTML is equal to we're using the ES6 syntax. We're going to using clicks, and with a span and a close span. Inside here, we're going to put a number, which is Andy's click. Right, it's just a ES6 syntax to display showing the string and with a variable inside it. That's for the Andy case. And don't forget to break after the case is done, because we don't have return here. Right. So for the case of the Bob, you can do the same stuff. I'm gonna copy that and change all the Andy here into Bob. Bob click counter in HTML equal to Bob click, and do the same thing for the Charlie. And for the David and for the Effie, I'm just gonna copy it 2 times. Gonna have a Charlie, and the Charlie, and the Charlie click is increasing. Do I have a Charlie click? Charlie click. Right, I have typo there, that's why it's not giving me a hint. Charlie click increase, and it's showing the Charlie click. And here is a David click. This is for the case David. And have a Effie click. Alright. So this might work. Let's try it. So when I click Andy and click that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when I go back to Bob, the Bob is changing, and when I go back to Andy, Andy is go back to its previous number. Right, I reckon it's like when I change the cat, it's always reset to 0. I don't want it to be 0 always. It's kind of like a stupid. It should display the current the number I click it. So the reason is because like whenever I click a cat name, it's going to reset its text content into click 0. That's not what I want. I just want to show you the current Andy's click. So I'm just gonna copy this one here. Instead of showing that, it's just showing the current Andy clicks, and this one going to show the current Bob's clicks, and the same thing for the rest. This one showing you the current Charlie click instead of just showing 0. Don't just show you 0 when I click the image. Just showing your current, how many times I click you. David click. And this one showing the FA click. Alright. Try it. Andy, 1, 2, 3. Bob, 1, 2. Go back to Andy. Andy still showing 3. I can increment it. And I go to the Charlie. F7. Go back to F2. Yeah, it's working right now. It's fully functional. Yeah, so this is my cat click with 5 cats. It's kind of annoying, I spent a lot of time, but it's still working. So basically, right now I have 2 functions. One is when I click the name in, not 2 functions, 2 kinds of functions. The first kind is like when I click the name in the list, it displays the corresponding cat and the current click of it. And another kind of function is when I click the cat name picture here, it's increments the number of clicks here. So the first kind of function is just using the 5 even listener here, and show Andy, show Bob, show Charlie, show David, and show Effie. That's for the list on the left. And I have another function called increment. It is changing. It is the function when I click the image. It's adding the clicks, different clicks. It depends on the current cat name. It's increments the different clicks. When the name is Andy, it increase the Andy clicks. When the name is equal to Bob, it increase the Bob's clicks. Same for the followings. That's 2 kinds of functions. One is showing the cat's image. Another one is increment the number inside the clicks. Let's commit my changes. Git and dot. Git commit. Cat clicker. Premium. Working with 5 cats. And I want to save my changes into my GitHub. I want to create a new GitHub for this one because this one is completely different from my old one. Let's create a new project for that. Right. Let's go back to my repository. Create a new one. We're gonna call it cat clicker premium. And save my changes here. I already add and committed it. All I need to do is just copy the 2 lines, push it to here. I already did the add and commit, so I just need to push it. Right. So the code is here right now. Right. I have those 5 images and 3 files. Right. So let's have a 10-minute break. Right. Let's have a 10-minute break. I'm gonna come back, keep working on these videos, and see how it goes. Right. Let's have a 10-minute break.